Have you ever thought how the first wine was made? Let me tell you, it's a fun mystery with some great, fascinating stories behind it. Like I'm talking thousands of years ago. I mean, there were so many wild grapes growing around at the time, and someone just had to pick it up, leave it alone, and then the magical and mystical grape juice was made. Let's talk about three mystical stories, which are quite different but still have some similarities. Let's dive into the Bible for a moment. This story tells us about Noah. This story starts at 2350 before Christ, and Noah's first task is to plant a vineyard. And guess what? When he tried his wine for the first time, he got a tiny bit tipsy. Noah's Ark is said to have landed at Caucasus Mountain, and this is where the first wineries were likely to be established. Well, Noah's Ark might or might not happen, but I always imagine it was the woman who started the first winemaking process. Let's go back to Stone Age. So we have this woman, right? She goes gather some fruit, some food. She comes across wild wines. She doesn't know what the grapes are, but she picks them up, puts them in a satchel or some type of vessel, and then she leaves back to her cave, set them aside, and totally forgot about them. Well, a few days later, she remembers, oh, I have this weird fruit I gathered the last time I was out. And she's like, okay, I'm going to eat it. So she opens the satchel, and what's there? Well, it's kind of bubbly, it's frothy, it smells kind of funny and kind of disgusting. But she's like, well, I'm hungry, I'm not going to gather anything else. I'll drink it, or I'll try to eat it. So she drinks the liquid, she eats the grapes, and she starts feeling a little bit weird. So what happened? Well, she gets a little bit tipsy. She feels this magical feeling, this divine presence. She thinks she's closer to the gods. She drinks up some more. She feels really fun and really light, and then she falls asleep. Well, the next day she goes to her cave friends, and she's like, well, guess what? What happened? I came across this fruit, I left it aside for a couple of days, and I got this juice. And when you drink it, you feel like you are with the gods. So they go outside, they gather up the fruits again, repeat the process, and that's how the first fermentation was made. Well, I promised you three stories, and this last one is one of the most famous and comes from Persia. This story is about King Jamshid and one of the members of his harem. King Jamshid loved snacking up on grapes. So his servant made sure that the grapes are available throughout the year. They put it in jars, preserved it, and king could snack on the grapes off season as well. But one jar hadn't been packed carefully enough, so the grapes started fermenting, releasing a little bit of alcohol, and when they opened the jar, it was a lot of strong smell. They didn't like it. They thought that it's poison. So they labeled the jar as a poison. However, one member of his harem was suffering a horrible headache, horrible migraine. And she was like, well, I cannot live like this anymore. I want to take my life. So she took that jar labeled as a poison and she just drank it. And then she just fell asleep. But in the morning, when she woken up, she did not feel anything. She did not feel any headache. And she came to king and she's like, this happened to me. It was a miracle. You should try it. Well, and they did. And the king liked it so much that he even ordered more grapes and made his staff to make some more of this juice, some more of this poison, and he even declared it a sacred medicine. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Sorry. It's been quite a journey to get to know these 3 fantastic stories, how the first wine was made. If you are interested in wine, check out this video. I'll see you there.